Water into Wine. Well, this was written at the same time as I wrote Fragrance of Paradise and Dream of Mine for the Gong album Bright Spirit in this very kitchen around Christmas of 2024. And unlike those two, I only had this verse. It started off with this chord here. I don't know what that chord is. Maybe you can tell me in the comment. And that led to fairly quickly and the words followed just for the verse. Well, dear, I knew you well, days gone by. We go our separate ways, to you the north, south, I. Weary I inquire, while dear now, how each of us is faring, older I and thou. Yeah, older I and thou. I think that's all I had to begin with. And we wouldn't normally write this way in Gong. Normally you sort of come up with something in rehearsal and then that would develop into something else. And so you don't really have time to get kind of married or to have specific ideas about something, because as soon as you've sort of come up with a riff, you know, Cheb's playing drums to it and then Dave's put some bass onto it and then, oh, it sounds great, cool. But we made this album a bit differently, and so, you know, I brought the stuff in. And I brought this one in just that verse, and I think there's a couple of things about it, really. It was the lyrics seemed a bit personal, and I quite like that. And also, I think I was just too precious about the tune, and I didn't like the idea of it being taken somewhere that I wasn't comfortable with, and I didn't really look forward to the arguments, the sort of me standing my ground on it. So I said quite early on that I think I'd like to keep this one for a solo tune. And there it stayed for quite a while, really. I just couldn't come up with a chorus for it. But the one thing I thought, it sounded like, to me, such a nice verse that I didn't want to spoil it by doing the wrong thing. I felt like it needed to be turned into, for want of a better word, a proper song. And by proper song, I sort of felt like it wanted to have a chorus and a middle eight and an instrumental bit. But it took a while for the chorus to come along. Finally, this was something else. I just had this ba 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 da da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba ba, and then it was that's the chorus, and the phrase "water into wine" appeared very quickly. And normally that would be a bit of a, well, I suppose it is a cliche, and the inner critic would normally be like, oh no, come off it, water into wine, really. But it kind of just felt like a chorus. It felt like, yeah, that's what a chorus would sound like. It would have words like water into wine. And the tune was originally called Wild Deer, and that became Water into Wine. When it came to recording it, I kind of wanted to avoid that sort of almost, dare I say it, that Brit-poppy kind of, because that's how I play it, kind of vibe. So I kind of played it as arpeggios. Whatever it is I did. I recorded that, and then I added all those sort of counterpoints and kind of gave it a Baroque vibe. I mean, I love doing that, because just the combination of the chords and the melody took me to such a funny place. That, it then just became about decorating that funny place. Almost like you'd decorate a room, putting these highlights and objects around. The chorus itself felt very different. It's more sway kind of, dare I say it, classic rock kind of feel. And then what I do with these solo records, I like to play everything myself, and I'm not great at most instruments. And in a way, I sort of simplify the parts so that my shortcomings aren't exposed so much. So, that's why on the solo records, the drumming is really, really simple because I'm just not much of a drummer. And the same with the keyboard playing is very simple too. And but I like that. I like that it then becomes this very personal thing. So I did the only bit of cheating that on the whole album was on the chorus to this. And by cheating, what it is I've had these rules. I have to play everything, and by and large, they have to be instruments that are available to me or in the house, or around me. But when I got to that chorus, because of this, I heard Hammond organ, and I don't have a Hammond organ, so that's the one bit of cheating I did. Is I used the MIDI Hammond organ on Cubase, but I mixed it quite low. You probably didn't even know it was there. And I did play it. I did play it in. I didn't program it. I played it in, and so there is a MIDI Hammond on there, but everything else is unplayed. And the middle eight could be your past. Fate is such a cruel fellow. Could be your past. Nobody understands. Who can you trust? That felt like it was in the same world as the verses. And that's got Rhodes doing that. And I love doing that Baroque arrangement because the chords moved so nicely. It just kind of leaves itself open to that sort of thing. So yeah, Water into Wine is a rare example of, in my head, what's a proper song. I think the last tune, it's maybe the sister tune to something called Dear Lord No Deal by Knife World. So I'm just going to grab a mic and I will play the tune to you, Water into Wine, as it was written. Okay, so I've got my mic now, and also I've just set up my pedal board. I've never actually played this one live before, and I kind of wondered, well, how am I going to do that sort of middle instrumental section? And I thought, well, I'll just loop it. So I got the verse looped. And what I'll do when I play it live is I'll just, as I'm playing the verse, set the loop up. So I got that set up, and I'm just going to play the middle bit over that. And I guess I've never done this live before, so this will be the first time. It may, by the time you come and see me play, be a little different. Let's see. Okay. While dear I knew you well, days gone by, we go our separate ways, to you the north-south eye. Weary I inquire, while dear now, how each of us is faring, older I and thou. Yeah, older I was, wondering, while dear, where you'd been, making fires and starting fights you never win, burning bridges in your wake and in your mind. And on that raging road, while dear, what did you find? Did you ever change your water into wine? Water into wine. While dear, you locked your horns with everyone you knew, tales of betrayals that I used to think were true. Now in your lonely fortress, flames of anger burn, while dear, you'd lock the doors, too proud to turn your water into wine. Everything you could have been, you never found your line. You're still waiting on a better time. The world is as you are, and turning water into wine. Could be, could be your luck. Fate is such a cruel fellow. could be your past. Nobody understands. Who can you trust? Treason and deception follow, alone at last. Wild deer, they never tamed you, there's no one left to blame. Wild deer, the world is as you are. Everything you could have been, you never found your line. You're still waiting on a better time. The world is as you are and turning water into wine. Could be your water into wine. Everything you could have been, you never found your line. You're still waiting on a better time. The world is as you are and turning water into wine.